Well, look what we have here. Someone playing in the Super Bowl at a position in need for the New York Jets. Left tackle Donovan Smith says he dreams of being a New York Jet. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets! Before we get into the video, I do want to thank the sponsor of the channel, SKG Tax. The New York Jets practice and play in New Jersey. This tax season, Jet fans may struggle with their state tax identity. If you are a fan and can't determine how to report your income, call JR the Tax Czar to address all your multi-state tax questions. Don't go on the road as a wildcard filer. Hire yourself a CPA to defend your home turf. JR, thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. Let's hop into today's topic of the day. New York Jet fans are a little bit excited here because a left tackle for a Super Bowl team, particularly the Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. Donovan Smith, coming out and saying he has a dream of playing for the New York Jets. Hometown kid from Hempstead, New York, so something you can kind of be excited about, right? Like, we don't get this too often. For as big a population as New York has, we don't get a lot of players that are like dreaming of being a New York Jet. So it's something that I want to talk about, something interesting. We obviously need 2 offensive tackles. Could this guy be a solution moving forward to our hopeful Super Bowl push next season? So let's hop into his statistics, everything about him. He's 6'6", 338 pounds. He is going to be 31 at the beginning of next year. He was a second-round pick in the 2015 draft, pick number 34 overall by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He signed a 1-year, $3 million deal worth up to $9 million this past season with the Kansas City Chiefs. He was let go from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had a massive cap hit. They had to work some cap magic down there, and he was obviously a salary cap casualty. Now, as far as is he good, is he bad, you can see his Pro Football Focus grades in the bottom part of the screen there, and that doesn't necessarily tell you everything, but I got a little context to go with it, courtesy of our boys over at Jets X Factor. 42 pressures in 506 pass blocking snaps. That's 68 out of 83 qualified tackles. When playing on the field, run-wise, yards per carry, the Chiefs average 3.5 yards per carry. When he's off the field, the 4 or 5 games that he missed this season, 5.1 yards per carry. Well, you might say that could just be a little fluky. Maybe they started hitting on all cylinders towards the end of the year, and it's just, they picked it up. Well, the trend kind of followed him from the year prior because Tampa Bay was the 32nd ranked run game in 2022. So is it maybe part of the issue there? Not to mention, like, the way he's played this year, he has an all-pro with Joe Thuney sitting right next to him. So I'm not, like, super confident in his ability if he's got a stud next to him. We've already tried that sort of the opposite way, bringing in Laken Tomlinson when he had Trent Williams as a stud next to him in San Francisco. I'm not so sure if I want to roll the dice another time. Now, as far as penalties, he gets about 12 penalties per 1,000 snaps that he's on the field. That is 60th out of 70 offensive tackles. Now, oddly enough, that is actually an upgrade compared to Mekhi Becton. I think he had like 18 to 20 penalties, if I'm not mistaken, according to Pro Football Focus. It was a lot this past year for Becton. So, look, anything would probably be an upgrade. And you can argue if you can sign Donovan Smith for 1 year, $3 million, you could say, well, I could spread money around to other places. We could at least neutralize some of the issues that he's had in the past. Maybe Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out a little bit quicker as opposed to maybe a Mahomes that's trying to sit in the pocket, maybe get some big plays happening downfield, and then maybe accidentally create some pressure, some sacks, things of that nature. Look, based on what we need, I understand health and availability. The guy's only missed 11 games over the course of his entire career, and I'm pretty sure 9 of the 11 have been the last 2 years. So maybe there's some concern there. Now, the injuries, as you can see here, neck soreness, foot sprain, hyperextended elbow, ankle sprain. It's not really any sort of consistent injury because obviously 2019 is when those ankle sprains happened. But I'm not concerned with the injuries. It's the quality of play that I'm more so concerned about. Is it really worth using a roster spot on someone that's going to give you, like, not the best production, at 31 years old? I would rather, even if you wanted to sign him as a swing tackle, like, forget starting tackle. I don't really want Donovan Smith as a starting tackle here. If you wanted to talk depth or as a swing tackle, maybe you consider that, but I really like Carter Warren. I would honestly like to see a little bit more out of him and maybe have him get the reps that Donovan Smith would otherwise be taken away. In my opinion, if you were looking at someone who's a left tackle or a right tackle, because look, Donovan Smith has played every single snap of his career at left tackle, so it's not like he's got any sort of positional flexibility. In my mind, I'm thinking if I'm the New York Jets, I want to hire someone, I want to bring in someone that has some sort of positional flexibility. Ideally, someone that plays left tackle, right tackle. Like, I would love a Jonah Williams or maybe a Trent Brown or someone that has some kind of positional flexibility, because then it kind of hides your, number 10 overall pick. Are you going to draft a tackle? Are you going to draft a wide receiver, maybe a tight end? You got a few more options in that respect, especially if you're looking at maybe Olu Fashanu, the left tackle that might fall to the Jets at 10. You don't want to necessarily roll the dice on an exclusive left tackle when you want to be able to have, someone that could plug in on the right-hand side. And if you get two guys that can only play the left-hand side, that's not necessarily helping your cause. Is the argument, hey, $3 million, he's penciled in as our starter, you hope to get Olu Fashanu and then he starts over him? I don't want that to be the be-all, end-all option for us, I'll be honest. I would rather go after a Tyron Smith. I would rather go after a David Bakhtiari, both of which are going to be top 5, top 10 tackles when they're healthy and on the field. I think even though you want to have consistency on the offensive line, there becomes a certain point where maybe it's not worth it from a run game perspective and from just a quality pass blocking perspective here. I think I'm probably out on Donovan Smith. I want to hear from you guys. Is this someone you're interested in bringing in? Do you want him to be our starter? Are you looking more of a swing tackle? Do you think the Jets should just stay away and go after another tackle? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, go Jets. Jets!